take a seat, sit back, relax, and welcome to the Kladecast. Today with me I got my really good friend, my neighbor, my brother, Hector Uribe. Welcome to the podcast.
Hey guys, my name's Hector Uribe, and I'm so happy that I'm on the podcast today, and hopefully we can do a podcast that's funny, that's unique, but I'm not that, I'm kind of bland, so we'll see.
No, don't say that. You'll do fine. Your brother actually came onto the podcast. He did really good, so we'll see if you could do just as well as him. Is that a high standard to put you to your brother?
Yeah, actually, he's better than me at everything, really. No, I'm just kidding. No, we're equal, and we're also very how do you say? We're both very extroverted when it comes to these things. So hopefully, I have some unique stuff to tell.
Yeah, Hector's actually a twin. So do you have any psychic superpowers with with twinning? Did you used to? I feel like you guys used to think that you guys could somewhat talk telepathically because you guys were twins. Is that am I just way off?
When I was younger, yes. When I was stupid, yes. But that's one of the stereotypes of twins. Literally everyone asks the same thing. They ask, "Do you have psychic superpowers? When you get punched, does he feel it?" No, he fucking doesn't.
Yeah.
Man, I'm allowed to cuss?
Yeah.
And another stereotype that comes with twins is you guys should switch classes and nobody will know. Literally every single person I've met, and I'm speaking in hyperbole now, but so many people have asked that question. It doesn't make sense. It's not funny. It's not funny.
It's not funny, guys. Don't stop asking me.
Stop asking me. Okay, I know I'm popular. I know I'm a twin. Okay, don't do it anymore.
Have you ever actually switched classes though?
No, I haven't. I actually haven't. But you only live once, so maybe we should. I'm a senior in a high school right now, and so it will be my last year as a high schooler, and maybe we should do it.
Yeah, you got to do it now. It's your last year.
Yeah, maybe, but Diego has long hair right now, really long hair.
And you have a beard right now.
I got a fucking beard. I look kind of like a bum, but whatever. We both look good, but we look different for sure. So I don't know if we could pull it off, but who knows? Time will tell.
Yeah, I wish I could pull that off, but I don't got anyone that looks like me. If I were to get into a fight with anyone, or if anybody were to see me doing something mischievous, I feel like everyone would be able to just know it's me. I just got I got that certain body. I just got very.
They got the big ass hair.
Yeah, my hair's super long right now.
It looks good, but it's long.
Yeah, long hair's coming in.
Yeah, coming in. It's coming into fashion for sure.
Yeah, so we also before the podcast we kind of wanted to talk about poetry a little bit, because we were talking we were doing homework, and we were talking about just writing, and how we both like writing, and how we both do a little bit of poetry, and so Hector wanted to talk about his poetry for a little bit. Yeah, this
is in the Kladecast selfish plug. I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to plug it up, but yeah. We were just talking about poetry, and poetry has been something in the past year, especially during quarantine, where I just fell in love with. And it sounds cliche, and I understand that, but I don't really care. Poetry has gave me an option to express myself when I'm feeling happy, when I'm feeling down, when I'm feeling all types of emotions. And so hopefully I can keep on doing that, and if poetry doesn't do it anymore for me, if it doesn't give me happiness, then I'll stop doing it. But right now it's giving me happiness, and so do you feel the same way as you do with poetry? Or
yeah,
not?
I whenever I'm feeling really upset, or poetry, or just writing in general, it's such an amazing thing to do, getting rid of all that emotion, and just being able to write to yourself, just when you write it out on paper, it kind of hits different too, because you're kind of seeing how you're feeling in a way. And I've written stuff about my past relationships, stuff with girls, mostly stuff with girls. Yeah. But if I'm writing poetry or something like that, if it comes out really good, I feel it's really cool that I get to express all my emotion into that. And it's just when it comes out really well and other people can enjoy my poetry, it makes me feel amazing. And I'm able to just share all that emotion onto paper, and it feels amazing.
No, I totally get that. With poetry, for me, I'm trying to progress. If I want to and another cliche, if I want to do something, I want to get better at it. I want to give it my 100%. And with poetry, I began like really, I was just terrible at it. I would just basically when I would start, I would be repeating and repeating the same words over and over again. And so, what poetry has given me is given me another outlook to improve, to improve something better in my life. And so now I read more books now, and I'm learning, my lexicon's improving and stuff like that. So on the topic with poetry, on the topic with relationships, I mean, I've never been in a relationship, so I really can't talk about it. But I've been infatuated with girls. I've had crushes, and so some poetry and some poems that I've written have been about a specific girl or specific girls, and but poetry, my poetry is not all about that. It's more about you know, my problems with mental health, or problems with eating disorders, or problem with all kinds of things. It doesn't have to be naturally about love, and it doesn't have to be sad. It certainly doesn't have to be sad, because I try to uplift people. I'm not sure if other people want to do that, but I want to uplift myself, and poems and any song should be uplifting.
Yeah, I mean, something that I've done for my mental health is journaling. Like journaling, like it may seem like a really hard task to do. It may seem like extra homework, but it really is super beneficial. Like I have this like silver journal sort of, but it's I got it from like this company called We're Not Really Strangers. So every single day I open up a card, and it's like it asks me like a really deep question about myself. It's like the self-reflection journal. And so like I read that question, and every day like I read it, and then like I answer it in my notebook, and it's super calming, like especially because like I have something to write about, even though like it may not be relevant. It's something that like you can ask yourself, and it's something again you could put to words, and it's something really good for your mental health just to write down your emotions and just like let all your feelings out.
Yeah, for sure. Just to echo what you were saying, like we're young guys. Blake's 17, I'm 18, and we don't really know about ourselves. Maybe we know our names, what we look like, what we like to eat, but in reality, we're more profound than that. We're deep human beings, and we need to understand ourselves better. So each day, poems have helped. When I'm, sometimes I write down stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, what am I writing down, dude? People will be disgusted at that. But in reality, you can't self-reject, and you got to realize that these stuff that I'm talking about, the questions that I'm asking myself, the questions that those deep reflecting
Questions.
Yeah, those questions are natural. All these weird things that we think about in our heads are natural, and you shouldn't self-reject it. So, and if I haven't given out my poems, and I haven't shared it to many people besides a couple of close friends, but when I do, I have to make sure that I'm open to criticism, I'm open to positivity or negativity, because that will come and stuff. But I really like the fact that we're asking questions, and we're trying to learn more about ourselves, which is really important, because I know nothing about myself. I only know a tiny little bit. I have so much more to improve.
I think I'm a little different from you there. I feel like I know myself pretty well. Like I feel like I can understand where my faults are, and like I just have to work on it. But where I have problems on is like working on the things I have problems with that I see in myself. But also like what you were saying, like about like giving other people your poetry, like I know that feeling of like letting other people read what you wrote, that like you wrote in private, thinking maybe someone else won't read this. It's something like you're giving up your vulnerability, and like giving up your writing is something that you could really pour your heart into, and just when you do that, it's kind of relieving. Like letting someone else know how you feel is relieving. And like if anybody who's listening to the podcast, if any of you guys have mental health issues, like the best thing to do is really talk about it. You cannot get better unless you talk about it, and no one is going to fix you. The only person that's going to fix you is yourself. And like the first thing of doing something is like admitting how you're feeling, and just like telling someone else. And I think that's a really good step. I mean, me and Hector, we've had a lot of talks about mental health before, and it really, really does help when you get to reach out to someone and tell them how you're feeling. And even though it may be good or bad what someone is saying, you may not like it, it's really good to talk.
No, yeah, dude, what you're saying is totally true. Because with human nature is to be like, I feel like a lot of people are very judgmental, and they come at things very narrow-minded. And so when you talk about mental health, when you talk about your problems, you know, whether they're extremely bad or extremely or okay.
We're cutting back real fast. We kind of had a little bit of technical difficulties. I hope it recorded. I'm pretty sure it did. But yeah, we're just going to keep on going on. Back to Hector's point.
Yeah, I said a really shitty joke. I said at the end of the day, we all go to sleep. Which is, it's not shitty. I think that's a pretty funny joke. But what I was saying, what Blake was saying, at the end of we have to be less judgmental and more open-minded, especially when it comes to mental health. And so any way which helps you, writing, talking it out, do it. And don't be afraid to do it. And don't care what other people think about, you know, the stigmas about mental health. So, and what we're saying is cliche, and it's so many people say it and repeat it, but it's true. And and what Blake was saying earlier, if you don't believe in yourself, who else is going to believe for you, you know? Yeah. You have to have that self-belief first, and then others will believe in you.
Yeah, I have a story of, I'm not going to say who it was, but I've had a person in my life that has struggled a lot with mental health, a couple people, and it could be really bad. Like, I've seen someone, like, basically overdose and get really, really, like, in a bad situation. We had to fix it. It's something you really don't want to get involved, or you don't want to get involved in it when someone is struggling, especially with substance abuse. But like, if you're in that situation where you're struggling with mental health and you're using like substances, you gotta get help.
Yeah, it's so hard for people like that to just say, "Hey, I've been defeated." Only wave the white flag. It's so hard for them, and so I don't know who you're talking about. But I'm pretty sure I'd say it's safe to say that they were struggling very difficultly, and they use substances to cope with it, which is the wrong thing to do. Wrong thing to do for sure.
Yeah, let's try to switch it up a little bit.
Mental health is super important, but it's like it's constantly talked about. So let's move it into a direction that's more positive, realistic, and a little bit more unique and different.
Yeah, I got nerds right here. I'm really happy about these nerds. You guys want to listen to some ASMR real fast? Sorry, I had to do that to switch it up.
That's sensual. That's a little sensual.
We're hanging out in Palm Desert right now.
Yeah, it's for spring break. I've been with Blake the last 4 days, and I'm having a great time. You know, when I first came on, when he offered me to go to the trip, I was ecstatic. I was happy, an opportunity to relax. But what I thought about was, damn, a week with Blake, I'm gonna get tired of him. I really am. And that's not the case at all. I knew it wouldn't be the case, you know. So I'm enjoying myself, and I can't say about Blake, but you know, Blake's opinion doesn't matter. It's only my opinion, okay? My opinion. I'm just kidding.
But yeah, like we're staying in a hotel. It's just so nice to finally get to relax. School is just so overwhelming, and we're gonna have to go back to school soon, which is gonna be pretty crazy. What do you think about us going back to school?
The people's gonna see my new fashion. That's what I'm just kidding. I don't want to speak colloquially, but it's the truth. You know, being like online, like look, I wake up. If I smell bad, I smell bad. If my hair is bad, it's bad. Like literally, I don't give two shits. So going back to school, I care. I take more time to do my hair. Because I do my nails. If you can't see, I'm gonna right there. I do my nails because I like it. I like doing my hair because I like it. I like doing my outfits because I like it, and I want to express my positive emotions to the world and say, hey, I'm coming up. It's not. That's not the case. But just to show the world that I've changed for the better, you know.
Yeah. No. I like that. Yeah. Going back to school. We've been going online school for 3/4 of the school year, so we're going back into fourth quarter. And all of a sudden, we're going to have to switch all of our schedules around from being so used to online class to go to in-person. And I'm kind of excited for it, but I know a lot of people that cheat. And most of the people that are in my grade are staying home because junior year is really important for grades, and most people just want to stay home and cheat. And you could just do so much at home. Like, I could just be at home, just like in bed on like online school all day, just like food on top of me, just being a king in my room and just doing whatever I want, not ever having a shower. Yeah, that's the best thing ever.
Online schools, it was nice. Like, you literally wake up, you go to class. Class was easy. You probably, I mean, what I do is I just listen to music, and be taken away from that. Like, it's kind of scary because now I have to pay attention in class, and I feel like a lot of kids are like I have to pay attention. I haven't been paying attention for a year. I can't do that. So I understand why people are staying home, and especially because of COVID. People are scared of COVID, and that's totally normal. I mean, I was scared, but I have the vaccine, and my whole family does too. So I have no reason not to go. And it's my senior year, and I want to enjoy it, you know. It's not going to be normal. It won't be normal, but it'll be closer to what it was before, and that's what I want.
Yeah, and by the way, I do actually shower. I did shower during Zoom class, or between Zoom classes.
During Zoom class?
Not during Zoom classes.
Mr. Blockhead's bubbles?
I was showering when we were doing online, but like being able to like see people online, like it's just gonna be nice to finally get like social interaction like at school. School is a little bit different, and anyone going back to our school, me and Hector are, I think we're gonna be taking boyfriend applications. We will
submit them.
Yeah, me and Hector, we need some ladies. Come on, we're good looking, good acting boys. We're not disrespectful. We're very good young lads.
Not misogynistic in a world that is constantly being badgered by men that are overly masculine and toxic. We are a star, a shining pearl. I'm sorry, I'm going all poetic with you guys, but Blake was saying it's true. Like I didn't take showers at all during online school. I'm just kidding, but it's nice. And going back to school, I don't really care about girlfriends and getting that stuff because it's not important to me. Through quarantine, I realized what is important to me, and it's me first, you know. And then if I'm happy with myself, then a girl can come, because you know, past infatuations with girls have made me self-deprecate, have made me feel terrible, and that's unacceptable. So going back to school, I'm thinking about Hector only. Hector only, baby. I'm number one. Okay?
I understand the point you're coming from, but like me myself, like I think I've grown a lot individually for so long that I'm ready to have a girlfriend. But like if I get a future girlfriend, I don't want someone that is needing me to feed their happiness and like feed their soul. Oh, yeah. I want someone that's on the same mental headspace as me, where they're mentally stable. I mean, that should be the bare minimum if they're mentally stable, but where they're happy with themselves and they're ready to be in like an actual relationship and not have to be like needing someone else. Because if I'm spending all of my energy and all my love and all of my feelings towards someone, then I'll lose that in myself, and I don't need that. I want someone that I could grow with individually, and I think that's how a relationship should be.
No, yeah, it should be give and take. It should be like, you know, it shouldn't be. For instance, I want a girlfriend that I can learn something from, and she can learn something from me, and I feel like I'm at the point where I've matured, I've grown as a human being, and I feel like in a relationship I could give a lot, and I could also understand that I have my faults and stuff like that. But I still feel like, even though I'm 18, I feel like I always say I'm not going to be ready for a relationship, but that's bullshit. Like, how can you never? I want to get plunged into one, and I want to do all the wrong things. I want to fuck up. I want to do this and that, because then will I know how to do it right. Because I've never been in a relationship, and so I really can't say I'm not ready for one. I'm not going to be able. I want to be committed. I want to go into it. I want to plunge straight into the darkness, and I want to come out of it in the light. If that makes sense. Blake, on the other hand, is very good with the ladies. He's had many relationships.
No, not true. I've had one serious relationship, and then
But you learned a lot.
No, you do. My one relationship I was in, I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about what I needed from others. But yeah, it really is all give and take. But like, you just got to be careful about like toxicity, because right now, like, there's so much like so many toxic relationships. People have been like fantasizing toxic relationships, and it's super unhealthy. And people think that they want the bad until it actually gets bad.
Exactly. No, we're I'm just gonna say their names. Fuck the podcast with the Harry. What's his name?
It was the Call Her Daddy podcast.
Daddy. Like, I mean, I really, I don't want to be overly disrespectful towards him, because I'm sure that she does good podcasts. But what I can't agree with her, she was talking about how she wants a toxic relationship. Yeah. And the guy just sat there. He's a good looking guy. He just sat there and saying, yeah.
And he talks about how he disrespects women, and he does like super manipulative stuff to women all the time.
Yeah, dude, like, literally, you want toxic? Okay, I'll give you toxic. See if you like it then. Like, I could never do that, you know? And the argument those people say, they say that, oh, I want a toxic relationship because it's never boring. Okay, bitch. You want? Sorry, I didn't mean to say it, but regardless of gender, like, okay, bitch, you really want a toxic relationship? Fine, have one. But even if it's not toxic, it's never going to be boring, because in a stable relationship, it's gonna be up and downs. It's up and down, so it's never boring. But toxic is always down, never up. And if you want that, go ahead and get that. And
Preach.
But at the same time, like, I've never been in a relationship, so I don't know. Okay, don't take my word for it.
No. You can understand what a toxic relationship is without having to be in one from an outside perspective.
Exactly. And friendships, I've had toxic friendships, and I don't want that. I really don't.
I've definitely had a lot of toxic friendships. I would say that my friend group that I was with in middle school, definitely, I'm not really associating with them anymore. Small PP. I'm not really associating with them anymore, and I found new groups of friends. And now that most of my friends are seniors and I'm a junior, although I love them, I kind of have to start mingling away from them, because I know that eventually I'm not gonna see or not be with them all the time.
Yeah, because he's a junior, and he's a lower classman hanging out with upperclassmen.
But also, I do love my friends that are in my grade also. No. Especially like my sports friends. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah, sports is literally one of the greatest. I mean, because I've been lucky. I played two sports, soccer and tennis. Soccer I played almost all my life because of my dad. You know, my dad forced that through my fucking throat. Unacceptable. I'm just kidding. But soccer was a big part of my life. And towards the end of the life cycle of soccer with me, is that it got so toxic. So toxic. I really just hated it. It was constant downs. My parents were spending thousands of dollars on club. And honestly, I just felt like my dad was forcing me to play. And it sucked. So, you know, the saying, don't be a quitter. Don't be a quitter. Well, I quit soccer, and I've never been more happy in my entire life. And I switched to tennis, and now I made more friends, because you're talking about friends with water polo. Yeah. I've made new friends with tennis, and, you know, I really love them. They're so positive. They motivate me. I motivate them, and it's a relationship where it's sometimes there's downs, but most of the time it's up, and I enjoy that. Toxicity is a big part of our world, and, you know, our goal in this life is trying to make it. You know,
it's all about positivity.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, like, just like high school, everything changes. Like, everything is just so different. I mean, high school is a crazy experience, and it really sucks that coronavirus like kind of like fucked everything up. But
it made me a better person, for sure.
Oh, high school definitely made me a better person.
Yeah. It made me in the beginning. It made me a worse person. Like, 9th grade, I was like fucking toxic. I mean, not toxic, but I felt like I was battling from depression, and I just became all around like a very sorrowful person. And through that, I came out of it, and I feel like I'm a better person. But coronavirus, you know, has, you know, changed me for the better, I feel like. But
okay, we are back again. We keep coming back. It's always like this on this podcast. Stuff going wrong and having to cut cameras, but whatever. But I think we were talking about just like the high school experience. It's just like high school definitely changed me for the better, and like being on a sports team is just like an amazing. Like, I love the teachers at our school. It's just amazing.
No, yeah, I can agree with you to an extent. Like, I've had really good times with like good relationship with teachers, and they've really affected me positively. But ultimately, I think the school system and the idea of school is just very under like unproductive.
Oh, I
It's kind of
completely agree.
backward thought. Like, I understand that schools are focusing more on mental health, but it's just terrible. Like, I know so many people that are dealing with, mental health disorders, and the school tries to do help, but in reality, they're giving homework. They're focusing on SATs. They're focusing on PSATs. They're focusing on trying to get you into college and trying to make you see that education is important. Education is important. If you don't have this, you're gonna fail. Grades are important. A's are important. Well, fuck that. Fuck that. Honestly, and you can come on this podcast and say a multitude of different things and say, well, it's cliche, but it's the truth. And hopefully, there's a lot of good things about school and a lot of bad things. So, just take that into consideration whenever you're talking about school life.
Yeah, the school system it needs to be like completely redone. Like, our school does not prepare you for the real world. Once you're out into college, or like just even out of high school, like, you're basically just like dropped down and you just like have no idea. Like, you have to pay taxes, you have to find a job, you have to figure out how to manage your expenses, your loans, and everything like that. Like, they just expect you to know how to do that and don't really give you any life skills. So I feel like it's kind of important, like, you start, like, if you know what you want to do, you just got to try finding other ways to build up for that other than in high school or for college.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, that's really true. Yeah, I mean, I'm 18 and I'm a senior, and I'm gonna graduate very soon, and it's scary. Like, I've already been hit with the maturity of being an adult, but I still feel that deep down I'm still a kid. I still like doing stupid stuff. I feel like doing stupid shit. I like saying poop poop beep poop and all that shit. Like, it's funny to me still. But as Blake was saying, there's a lot of things that we have to improve on so that we can help better generations. Because it's a lot of suffering and not a lot of helping in these situations. But I feel like we're backtracking back to like negative things, but this is all good. I feel like the conversations that we're having are important. So, what do you think?
Yeah, no, like, mental health, just like knowing what's going on, like, just making sure that you're mentally stable is just like, you gotta love yourself. You gotta love yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, love yourself.
Love yourself, baby girl. I don't know. I just said a random thing, but
Baby girl, you gotta love yourself. God damn it.
yeah, just go buy a journal. Go make yourself happy. Go find someone that you care about and just say, how are you doing?
This podcast. I mean, I'm not. Are we about to finish it? No. Now, what I was gonna say is, like, what you should do is you should do crack. You should do all the bad things in life, and keep on doing them. That's the motto.
No, what, dude? Crack.
I'm just kidding. But what Blake and I were saying earlier, it's just, hopefully we can bolster those ideas into people's minds so that it doesn't become a stigmatized subject that is negatively looked down upon. Hopefully we can do that, and our constant badgering of mental health issues is important. So.
Yeah, and something that's kind of like crazy that I haven't really seen a lot of people be able to do successfully is Hector's been like getting rid of his phone, and he's been like not using social media at all. I don't know why we didn't jump into this like right away, but this is like really crazy. Yeah, Hector's gonna talk about it in a second, but Hector doesn't use social media anymore. He's like doesn't really bring his phone anywhere, and like he's doing it for his mental health, and I think that's like you need to have a very strong will to be able to do it. I've said that over and over and over to Hector, but like I don't think I would be able to set down my phone, which is like really bad, and you're able to do it.
I mean, I thank you for kissing, for giving me tooting my
for kissing your ass.
Yeah, I didn't want to be weird, but for tooting my horn, But I don't feel like it takes a lot of mental health, because I feel like you're saying like, oh, I couldn't do it. Well, then you're already losing, right? Just do it. But just a quick story of why I did it was, I was going with my friends one night, and we were going down to PV. If you guys know where PV is, it's a really great place. And we went down to Terranea, and we were just having fun. And I just felt I was feeling myself, and so I took a photo of me and my friend, and I posted on Snapchat. See if a lady or a lucky lady or a manly man would say something. And I woke up that next day and I checked it. And keep in mind that every single time that I post something, like whether it's Instagram or Snapchat, I always feel like this like necessary thing to feel like, oh, hopefully I need to get a certain amount of views, I need to get a certain amount of likes, or else I'll feel like crap. And so the specific night, the day I woke up, I only got like a couple views,
Yeah.
Not a couple views, like maybe 60, and which in reality is a lot of people. But it for some apparent reason made me feel so inferior, made me feel so lonely that I felt, fuck this. And it made me feel paranoid about myself. It made me feel like, well, no one's viewing me, no one's doing this, no one's doing that. So is there something wrong with me? So I said, fuck it, and I deleted it. And now I'm better than you all, and you guys, I'm just kidding. No, but it's the truth. And the reality is I really don't care about other people's lives. And so by seeing other people's lives, it just makes me, and when they're doing something fun, it makes me feel a little bit lonely, and I don't want that anymore, for sure. So that's why I deleted social media, and I'm on vacation right now, and so I'm not trying to use my phone, but I use my phone a lot when I'm back home watching YouTube.
Yeah, so that camera just died, but we kind of had to wrap it up anyways. So I just wanted to say thank you, Hector, for coming on to the podcast. Let me flip this camera around so you could say goodbye. We're gonna go handheld mode for a little bit. So thank you for coming on to the podcast. It's been a lot of fun. Normally I would say thank you for coming on, and I would ask you to shout out your social media, but you are no longer on social media, and a lot of praise for you for that. So again, thank you for coming on to the podcast, Hector. You got any final words to say to the audience?
If you ever guys need help, if you ever need a helping hand, find someone who knows my number, or just reach out to me. Even though I don't have social media, try reaching out to me, and I will always be trying to be a beacon of hope. I hope you have all a wonderful day, a wonderful night, and you have a perfect day. Thank you. Love you all. Bye-bye.
Okay, that's it from Hector. I will say the final goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for listening. Leave a rating if you can. Leave a like. Do whatever you can to support the podcast. Appreciate you. I love all of you guys, and have a nice day.